This is week 5 of a 6-week hostage crisis, and this week we're going to focus on stealing the competition's help. Now, I know why we need help, but what other advantages might we have by doing this? And obviously the answer is this. The more good people we can take from them, the better the people they are for us, and we would hope that good clients would want to follow good employees and all that good stuff. So by taking the competition's not only their business, but also their employees helps build business for ourselves as well. So, I calculated for the first time the other day in a long time where I've done 500 keynotes and workshops and stuff like that, training events, and 300 other events. I added them all together, 800 speaking gigs. And out of those 800 speaking gigs, I've had somewhere in the vicinity of 262,000 people that I've spoken to over the past 20 years. And I've asked almost every single audience, is service getting better or worse in America? And those of you that have listened to a few of these webinars have heard that question before. And I could count on 2 hands how many people said service in America, generally speaking, is getting better. Out of 262,000 people, less than 10 said it's getting better in the United States. And with those audiences where I had a follow-up question, I would say, well, why is it not getting better? And I heard one of 2 things. One, especially in the hospitality trade, we don't pay enough money. Yeah, we got to pay more money. We got to get better people. I don't necessarily agree with that. The second item was kids today don't want to work. And I would hear that consistently. And I would say, is that true, audience? Oh, yeah, resounding yes. Kids just don't understand what it takes to work. And we sit here and we moan and we groan and we bemoan these kids of today, the Xers and Yers. And I think we've got to take a brand new approach to this whole thing. And that's what I'm going to do here, is to give you some advice as to what to do as opposed to what we're currently doing. And why? Because what we're doing right now is not working. I think all of us would also say the majority of the time when we go to a McDonald's or call the cable company or call up Sears for a delivery, we're not over-impressed with who's dealing with us. So we've got to take a new approach to find better people and hang on to these people. So how are we going to do that? I want to share with you what I did with a training event with a particular brand. And this brand has about 3,000 hotels in the United States. And they hired me to deliver 5 of the same presentations during the course of a week. And I got to tell you, as a presenter, as a facilitator, that's not fun. Delivering the same thing over and over again 5 times in the same week is not fun. But 2 things drove me. Number 1, I love the brand guys that are behind this brand. And number 2, the audience was all owners and operators, general managers and management companies of hotels. So this is where decisions are made. This is where cultures are built or not built. And I've got decision makers in front of me that can really make a difference. So that drives you to doing a good job. So for 90 minutes, I had these people 5 different times. So the average audience is about 600 people. And what I would do is I would look out into the sea of people. There's 600 of them out there. And on the stage, I would say, I need a husband and wife volunteer. Who's going to volunteer to come up here and help me out? And of course, they didn't know what they were volunteering for, so they didn't volunteer. And I followed that up quickly with, who wants to make 20 bucks? And as you can imagine, I had everybody, a sea of people. So I had my pick of the litter, and I would pick a husband and wife, and I'd say, come on up, here's your 20 bucks. Oh, thank you very much. And they would sit down, and they would sit down at a table, much like what you're looking at this screen here right now. I'd have china, glass, and silver set out. It was obviously a dining room situation. And all of a sudden, I would don some gear, so I would look like a waiter. And I would ask the couple, Mr. and Mrs. Customer, I would say, what is your favorite restaurant? And I was sorry to hear that in more cases than not, of these 5 different audiences, they would say things like, TGI Fridays. I'd say, really, your favorite restaurant in the whole world is TGI Fridays? Oh, yeah. I said, okay, all right, we're at TGI Fridays, and we're having dinner. And man, I'm blowing you away. I'm turning you on. I'm tuning you in. We're having fun. We're laughing. The suggested items that I suggested to you are really working out well. You really like the specials. I'm on top of things. I'm engaging, but I'm not in your way. Man, this is turning out to be a terrific event. And all you wanted to do was go out and have a simple dinner, and this turned out to be a great event. So your wife gets a great idea. Mrs. Customer gets a great idea. She says, honey, we have an opening at the front desk for a front desk agent. I wonder if this waiter would be interested in the position. And Mr. Customer says, hey, good idea. Let me find out. So sure enough, I would show up at the table again. Now I'm setting this up for the audience just like I'm doing with you. I would show up at the table again, and Mr. Customer, it's your turn now. So convince me I should work for you. And I'd put the mic down in front of them, and you'd hear, all of a sudden the audience starts laughing. I said, no, no, calm down. You do the same thing. Let him get his thoughts. All right, are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. Okay. All right, convince me I should work for you. And I put my mic down by him, and he would say, Don, you're a sensational waiter. We've had a great evening, my wife and I. Thank you very much for the terrific service. And we were both talking. We would like you to work for us. We'd like you to come work for us at our front desk and make more money. And they would stop. And I'd say, all right, let's go out of context here for a second. Will I indeed make more money at your front desk than I am right now as a stupendous waiter? And the guy would look at me and say, oh, yeah. I'd say, really? He'd say, yeah. And all of a sudden the audience starts yelling out, oh, no, 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 no. I said, calm down. Really? Because as a good waiter, I'm making like $55,000, $60,000, $65,000 a year just in tips alone. And that happens, people. Good waiters make that much money, all right? So you're telling me at your front desk as an agent, I'm going to make more than $65,000 a year. True or false? He'd say, true. I'd say, really? I put the mic down again. No. Everybody would start laughing. I said, calm down, calm down. So you just tried to lie to me, right? Yes, I did. Okay, more laughter. Now, come on now. Serious. Convince me I should work for you. And the net result was this. We are not ready to go after good people when we see them. So I would stop picking on this poor couple, and I would turn to the audience. Okay, smart Alex, there's 600 of you, actually 598 of you out there right now. Who has a better approach? And it seemed like everybody wanted to sell me on the idea of working for them. You're going to learn more here. It's better for your career. We're better people. You'll get a better uniform. I mean, all kinds of crap, right? But what are they missing here? They're missing the approach that really ought to be put into play. And we're going to get into those details now. All right. So my suggestion to them is this. There's no way that anybody who is good at what they do is going to have time to be sold on your facility right here and now. So you have to have a simple approach, but a unique approach, and it's got to be impactful, but you got to get in and get out because this waiter's got tables to wait on. You don't want to get this waiter in trouble with the general manager on the floor. He's going to see that you're spending too much time at your table. And then when he or she finds out that they're standing there talking about a new job, that's certainly not going to make them very happy. So the approach ought to be maybe along the lines like this. And let me back up one step. The first thing we have to do is to be looking for these people. We're sitting here at an audience of 600 times 5, 3,000 owners, and I think these people are pretty representative of the rest of us in the working world. We're sitting here bemoaning kids today. They don't want to work. They don't know what it is to work. They don't know this. They don't know. We got to stop that crap. We've got to stop doing that, and we've got to start approaching people on their level, not our level. And the first step is, hey, Don, you're a fantastic waiter. We had a terrific experience tonight, my wife and I. Thank you very much for the great service. We have one question for you. Is there anyone you know of that's as good as you are that we can hire for our front desk? We have some openings at our hotel. We're hotel owners up the street. You know the Holiday Inn so-and-so? Yes, that's us. Do you know of anyone that would be looking for a position that's a lot like you, somebody as good as you? Stop. Now, this good waiter or waitress heard what? They heard, ooh, job opportunity, or they heard, I'm really happy where I'm at, let me answer their question and actually help them go find someone who I think's a lot like me. But more cases than not, at least I found in 70% of the cases I did this in, they heard the message that as good as I am here, as good as I've got it here at this restaurant, maybe there's a greener pasture somewhere else, so at least let me talk to these people, all right? So they would shyly say something like, do I know of anyone as good as me? Well, maybe it's me. All right, you're busy right now. I don't want to take your time. I don't want to take you away from your other table. It's your responsibility. But can you and I have a cup of coffee together? If not later today, how about tomorrow or the next day? What's convenient for you? Let's you and I meet at Starbucks, and let's talk about some opportunities maybe at my hotel for you. Does that sound okay? Absolutely. All right, let's take a time out. Let's just say the general manager suspected that I approached his waiter to work for him. And he goes to the waiter and says, what just happened? What's the waiter going to say? He's going to say, oh, man, they love me so much. They were asking if I knew anyone as good as me that could work for them. They're going to be okay with that. Okay? They may still be a little suspicious, but we certainly don't want the waiter to say is, hey, they just tried to steal me. And you didn't. You asked them outright, is there anyone as good as you that you know of that we could talk to about positions in our hotel?